Hello, Commander. I have received information that among these 3 soldiers among our ranks, 2 of them is spies. I want you to take them out. The 3 of them is Sergeant Like Button, Officer Dislike Button, and Officer Subscribe Button. Shoot 2 of them. I know you know who are they. Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 104 and 105 for 7th and 8th of June. For those that have not subscribed, please remember to subscribe, and do remember to press the like button, because the number of people that can watch this video is highly dependent on the number of likes. I'm not even joking with you. You can go and check all the previous videos. The likes, there is always a ratio to the number of views with the number of likes. So, but it's not because there's more views, so there's more likes, but it's actually the opposite. The more likes there will be, the more views there will be. So I depend on you guys, which is why we always have this intro joke for the summaries. It's for fun and also to encourage you guys to remember to press the like button. So now let's get into the summary. For the past 2 days, missile strikes. The Russians strike another training center for foreign soldiers. The training center is at Volynsky. I suspect it might be this one, or it could be any of these. I think it should be this one. This looks like a military base to me. And anyway, so they say that according to this one is according to the Defense Ministry of Russia. They say that the training center, which foreign mercenaries underwent retraining and coordination, was destroyed. So no idea how many people died from this destruction or this missile strike. And going to the cross-border shelling, Russia continues to shell with either artillery or mortar on border towns like Sopich, Kodyn, Ryzivka, and Velika Pisarivka. So not sure what is the reason the Russians continue to harass the Ukrainian forces that is holding up on the border region, because using mortar is not exactly effective at destroying Ukrainian positions or entrenchment. It's more effective if you have a heavy artillery to destroy the entrenched position. So it's very curious, what are the Russians actually doing, or is it just to hold up the Ukrainian forces in this region to keep them on their toe, to avoid allowing them to be redeployed to the Eastern Front. So let's go on to the south. At the Odessa Front, there's nothing to report. At the Southern Front, so on the Southern Front, we have information that the Russian forces have captured, and not just captured, they have also entrenched themselves in Velike Atakov and Bila Krynisia. So the Russian forces have captured these 2 locations across the river, and this also put into question this entire Ukrainian offensive into Luzov, as well as this Suky Stavok. There is a report that there is fighting at Luzov. Is an offensive by the Russian forces. This is reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and this might also means that the Ukrainian forces that went all the way to Suky Stavok might have retreated due to this counteroffensive by the Russian forces. And given the entrenchment is here, I suspect that this Ukrainian push is entirely negated, and they have already fall back into the western side of the river. According to the Russian sources, the Ukrainian positions is now at Murakivka and Kalinivka. These two positions is actually their forward operating base for the invasion into the center of Kherson here, and they also have artillery position at Kaluha. So according to the Russian source, they said over at Kalinovka and Murachovka, there are only spotters and air gunners that correct fire of Ukrainian artillery from the village of Kaluga. So which means the forward operating base is also largely evacuated, leaving only a few soldiers left, maybe a platoon or two, just to conduct spotting for artillery. Previously, we also have a possible Ukrainian position at Lepika, which they spotted aerial reconnaissance from the Russian side. There is a Mi-8 shot down near Bila Kratnisia, and nearby at Snihurivka, two Mykolaiv or forget it, just MiG-29 got shot down over at Snihurivka. So these two are supposedly air-to-air fighters, and probably covering the offense that got shot down by air defense. Kalinivka. Oh, Kaliniska. So this might, okay. So actually, this is very interesting. So I have this report. This is something new. From the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense. They say that there is consistently difficult position in Kalinivska. I suspect this one because there's no S in this name. So there is an S here. So tentatively we'll put it here. And at Veliko Oleksandrivka, which is actually here. That means there's fighting over there. And Visokoposka, and which is actually here. Visokopilia, and as well as Novovoronzovska, which is Novovoronezhsk. So, oh sorry, is there? Sorry, it's here. Sorry, that's fake news. Okay, it's here. So that means fighting have arrived at here. So not sure how the Russians go there. Maybe they have already taken all these positions. We have no idea. So there is fighting all along here, and this might corroborate the previous reports that there is a massive reinforcement of armored vehicles coming into the Kherson area that was spotted according to pro-Russian sources. So this might corroborate that there might be this massive counteroffensive by the Russian side, but we shall see. So that's all for the Southern Front. There is, so after this capture, the Ukrainians actually launched a counteroffensive. So according to Russian sources, there is battle continuing at the bridgehead at Balaya Knisa as well as Veliki Artakovo. So which is actually Bila Kranisia and Veliki Artakove. So the Ukrainians are launching probably a counteroffensive to push out the Russians from this entrenched position. We shall see maybe in a day or two to see whether the Ukrainians are successful in this operation or not. Over at the Zaporizhzhia Line, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, there is reports that there is shelling at Shebaki, and then I put a question mark. Perhaps Shebaki is actually under Ukrainian control. And then we have a corroboration from the Russian side, which are pro-Russian sources saying that there is a concentration of a Ukrainian unit in Shebaki, which is Shebaki here. So this confirmed that the Shebaki is actually under Ukrainian control. Also over here, the Russian source reported foreign mercenaries are spotted in Novoandreevka. So which is Novoandreevka, which also suggests that Novoandreevka is actually under Ukrainian control. So Novoandreevka. So we have collaboration in the sense that there's a correction in terms of the front line, so making the line straighter. However, the Ukrainians may not have the full road. They still have to go around Palivka in order to go to Kayamsky, because Stepov and especially Pyatikhaiki is actually Russian control. In fact, this is an entrenched position, and Stepov is likely to be within firing range, even if the Russians did not hold a position over here. So, but at least that's nice. We actually have some corroboration of, some correction of things in terms of the front line. At Huyaipo, there is a concentration of the 81st something, maybe battle group or what, of the Ukrainian armed forces, concentrating within Huyaipo, and they are reportedly planning to attack Mafopil. So they say they're going to attack from two directions. So not sure which the other direction. Maybe from Chevron, or maybe from Melanivka, which we suspect might be under Ukrainian control. So that's all from the Zaporizhzhia Line. Over at Donetsk, there isn't much to report over here as usual. There's always a skirmish. The situation here is really difficult. So we are not getting anything from here. Let me off my phone sound. And then along at Adivka, at New York. So at New York, we have a report that there's fighting on the southern outskirts of New York. So this is by the Donetsk People's Republic militias. Otherwise, the other fronts in Donetsk Front is we don't really get much information on that. Fighting continued for Novoluhansk as well as Volehirska thermal power plant. There is shelling by the Russian on Travnive, but there is no ground offensive on this yet. So that's all for this side. On the Bakhmut front, according to the Russian sources, the Wagner P private military contractors are actually pushing towards Bakhmut as well as Porovsky. They are fighting along the way to Bakhmut. Take that with a pinch of salt. And then now we are at the Popasna front, where is our bear pig with spiky hair, with the mouth looking more weird, because I actually pushed back because there's no offensive to Soledar. The Soledar offensive seems to be given up. So there's actually no offensive towards Soledar yet. There's no fighting here. Fighting is still at Yakovlivka, Bilohorivka, Brestov, Nikolaivka, Vrubivka. So these are the main front lines. There is no news regarding this Rodolivka advancement. Very, very weird situation to have this report. If we are not going to get many more, I might delete this question mark away. On the Luhansk South front, and the Luhansk South, we have information finally around Zolote-Herske region. Luhansk People's Republic forces have captured the eastern side of Katerinivka. So Katerinivka is this town here. I believe this is also part of Katerinivka. So I believe this is the eastern part that they have captured. They still yet to capture this side. And of course, there is also some entrenchment around here. You see there's a massive entrenchment around here. So, but that is also part of Zolote 3, Stakhanovets, or the old name of Zolote 3. So, some progress by the Russians here. But this is only information here. I'm not going to put a flag until they capture the entire Katerinivka. Otherwise, on top of Zolote-Herske, there's no other information. There is no updates regarding Ustinivka and Menadolina, nor Bobrov. At Borisky, we have reports that the fighting is now in the north of Borisky, and the Russian forces have captured Severodonetsk airport. So with this capture and this movement in the north, that invalidates the entire Pikachu tail. Previously, this looked like a Pikachu. I have eliminated this entire blue area. And I will leave the question mark there first. Perhaps there still may be pockets of Ukrainian forces there. No, we are not sure, but it's unlikely that will be a front line. So which is why I push all the way back, so that it looks like a unevolved Pikachu, or a very depressed one. And so that's the situation here. Fighting continues at the airport though, even though they captured. There is some reports that the Ukrainians are still fighting at the airport area. So it is possible because of the very thick forest region around here. So it's not really that straightforward when you are surrounded by forest. Moving on to the northern side of the Severodonetsk, Luhansk front, around Severodonetsk, fighting continues. Fighting continues around the industrial area. I have added this entire box so that I don't have to always repeat this part. So in terms of the ground photos, journalists reporting, videos, whatever, to help us map where exactly the Russians have already captured, that is the original one. This one is just to let you know that this is the reported one, that the Russians actually captured the entire residential area of Severodonetsk. The Ukrainians continue to hold the resistance within the industrial area. There is still reports of small retreats away from the industrial area, but we're not sure how extensive is that. And reports of Russian progress into the industrial area is also very subjective. So I'm not going to make speculation on that. Going to depend on ground footage and photos to help us geolocate exactly where the front line is. There is reports though that the Russians have reached the border of Lisna Dacha as well as Severodonetsk, which has been the case forever. But that's all. The Ukraine map, which is another mapper, who always make calls into the residents living in the area. He actually called someone in Voronov as well as Mitokaine, and he can confirm that these two is under Russian control. So although previously he also made calls into Severodonetsk and confirmed that 80% is captured by the Ukrainians, which never happened. So of course, take everything with a pinch of salt. There is footages of this bridge is still operating, but there's quite a number of holes. So but this bridge is still usable at Sanetsky. So which is the main retreat or the bridge that Severodonetsk forces can use to retreat into Lysychansk. And that's all for the Luhansk front. Going into the Izyum front, the Russian forces have captured Tayanivka. So quite predictably, because if you can capture the Severodonetsk as well as crossing over to secure the monastery, I don't think the Ukrainian forces want to stay here, or else they might risk getting encircled. There might be Ukrainian forces still holding up at Pryshep, but I don't think that is a good idea, because a push south will cut them off into a encirclement along the river, and that might be a very bad idea. So the one we know is that according to the Russian Defense Ministry, the Ukrainian forces have retreated over to Sidorov. Currently, I don't think the forces here will be pushing so quickly down. I think they will be regrouping, securing the city, as well as bringing up the humanitarian units to help out with the humanitarian needs over here. And they also need to make new better plans further south. So that would probably take 2 days before we will see any more advances from the forces around here. However, in the other Russian forces, they are fighting for Bohorodashne. They are fighting for Bohorodashne. They're already fighting at the edge. And over at Dolina and Krasnopilia, the fighting currently is in the forested area. They have not reached the residential area yet. They are currently fighting to secure the forested area. So that is the latest from here. There is a, oops, I think I put the wrong icon. There is a Sukhoi 25 shot down over Mayanivka. So this is a ground support aircraft. So probably this Ukrainian aircraft is actually trying to take out Russian forces, but somehow got shot down by air defense. Fighting continue for Dovhemke, and the Russians are actually seemingly launching a new offensive around Izyum area. They have pushed forward to Dubrovnik, Vinopilia, and Velika Komishvaha. I believe I might have reported this. If not, this is actually reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, where they say that after regrouping, the Russian forces now step up in the direction towards Velika Komishvaka Dokopilia, which is Vernopilia, Dubrovnik, which is Dubrovnik, Dolina, which is here, as well as Bogorodishny, which is Bohorodishny. Yep. So that's all for the Izyum Front. Oh yeah, there is actually a MiG-29 shot down over Sloviansk, as well as a Sukhoi 29. Did I report this previously? This is very... Oh, so sorry. This is from the previous update. I forgot to delete. I'm so sorry. Those shootdown never happened. Over to the Kharkiv Front. At the Kharkiv Front, there is a report by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry that let me just read what they say. To this end, the enemy strengthened the grouping of troops in this direction by transferring one BTG, better, I think it's better tactical group or something like that, to the area of Veselye village, which is Veselye here. So that makes it sounds like Veselye is actually under the Russian control. I put a question mark. I don't want to jump to conclusion, because in the area could be in the area around here, may not be actually within the village. But this was actually previously captured by the Ukrainian forces. That fighting continued at Rubizne, Supivka, as well as Rubizne, Tonova. So this three is still fighting. The rest is no longer reported by the pro-Russian sources that they are fighting over there. So actually, in fact, might want to just delete this. And Dementivka, I will delete this too. So no idea what's happening here. And Sosnivka actually also don't know what's happening. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to put this under unknown. Maybe it's like a... It could be Ukrainian, it could be a Russian situation, because I'm also not sure what's the conclusion of that battle around there. Same thing for Dementivka. We also have no idea what is the conclusion. So we're just gonna leave it like this. So I do this in front of you so that you know what's happening. I'm sorry for my voice. I'm still not fully recovered from COVID, which is why I'm still coughing, which is why my voice is rather sexy. And that's all for the report for the SITREP for the day of 104 and 105 for 7 and 8 of June. And if you find this information, the way how I report, useful, please share it to your social media and to the contacts that might be interested. That will help. And also, please press the like button. And you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I want more subscribers, and I'll see you in the next update.